Oh man, that was fun. Now get ready. Get ready for part 2 with Chief Taylor, who some consider the most preeminent or popular law enforcement officer in OP Nation. So you guys hold on to your seats, hold your horses, grab your hat, get your popcorn ready. Part 2 with Chief Bradley Taylor from Hazen PD starts right now. After the slight backlash from the honey, sugar, baby stuff, and if so, why?
That's a good question.
What'd you think, Chief?
No, I haven't. I did for a little bit, and then
Yes.
I got to thinking about it, and I said, most of you folks can kiss my butt. That's the way we are. I mean, that's just the way I was raised. That's the way I am. It's not disrespectful down here where I'm at. It's actually, that's how we treat folks here. And it's not one person that I've ever done that to on the side of the road has ever. And mind you, I've made thousands of traffic stops, and that's just the way I operate. And and I'm going to continue to operate that because I feel that's respectful. And that's the South. I don't know where people get upset or offended by it, other than people just get offended for no reason. But I'm not going to change me because somebody don't like how I am. That's probably what's wrong with this world today is people get offended too easy, and you want to change because somebody else don't like it.
100%.
And I'm not going to. I'm going to still be me when this TV show's over with. This ain't going to last forever, and I know that.
I did a little deep dive on you, and I was looking as much information as I can. And way before the TV show on YouTube, somebody has your body cam, and you help some young lady on the side of the road getting gas for her, and you were doing the same thing. Come on, sugar, get in the car. They had the baby, put the baby in the back of the Charger. I was like, look at this guy. This is amazing. So don't change any of your ways. They're all
just
perfect.
Pouring down rain, Hey, I remember that. I remember
it
that.
Was.
And it was pouring down rain, and she had the little fella in the car seat, and he got in there and got to squalling, and he thought it was the greatest thing, I think, and I give him a ride, and we went and got some gas. And if you check on YouTube too, I helped there's several of them, I know, and I'm trying to think, but there's a veteran guy that I helped change his tire, and that's just who we are, and there was an older black lady. Now I thought I was going to die that day. I spent 3 hours with that lady, and the jack fell on me. I thought I done broke my hand. But finally we got her tire changed and got her on the road. And that's just who we are, and then it was the middle of July. It was 120 degrees outside. Guys, I wasn't raised seeing color. I don't get all that. I don't understand that, It makes no sense to me. So, when I seen these people on the side of the road, they're people just like me. And you look at it, Jesus ain't white. He wasn't ever white, He's another descent. He don't look like me, It's just
you're crazy, hilarious, Chief. Man. You're awesome, man. You're right, but our fans are wild. They're gonna clip that. They're gonna clip that when you said, "Guys, Jesus wasn't white." That was awesome. I might turn it into one of my notification tones on my phone. That was pretty good. You're good. You're great. So I gotta ask you, because you talked about 1,800 people, 6 cops. How on God's green earth did the show find you, or did you reach out to the show? How did this happen?
Dude, that's a good question, man. That's some of that YouTube stuff, like the videos you've seen, some of that YouTube stuff, our pursuits got sent in to On Patrol. And you've been to the studio, right, Mike? You've been to the studio.
Yeah, last August. Yep.
Okay, yeah. All right. I don't know if you met a guy named Evan Cutler. Evan, he's one of the guys in there. He pretty much He does a lot of the typing, teleprompter stuff, whatever it is, however you say it. Well, anyway,
Yep.
he reached out to me and we got to talking because he wanted to know who was involved in the pursuit and this and that, so they could give the stuff for Curtis to say and, you know, who it was and things like that and where we was at. Well, man, we just kind of hit it off, you know, kind of like when you text me, oh yeah, sure, dude, whatever you want. You know, that's just me. And we kind of hit it off, and we would text back and forth periodically. And I'd come home on Friday night and I'd watch the show. You know, that's just what I did. You know, before I was ever on it, you know, Friday and Saturday nights, I was watching On Patrol.
Me too.
Yeah, exactly.
Me too.
Yeah. So I would, you know, I'd take a picture of me sitting in the living room watching TV, and then he'd send a picture of being in the studio. And I'm like, oh man, that is so awesome. So, you know, 3 or 4 months rocked on. And then he said, man, I want you to meet somebody. And then he hooked me up with Joe. Joe's one of the producers up there, the main producers. And a couple months rocked on like that. And Joe called me and said, hey man, I'm flying from New York to Little Rock. I'll be in Hazen tomorrow. And he come and hung out with me for a day or two. And that was it. Next thing, he loved it. He said, we're coming here. We loved it here. He said it was instant. And they put us on TV for the 100th episode that weekend. That weekend they were having that 100th episode. And that was the only weekend we were supposed to be on. That was it. That was all of it. And they left on Sunday. You know, they're off on Sundays and Mondays. Well, on Tuesday, Joe called me. He said, man, is there any way we can come back? He said, man, these views, he said, they're blowing up. The first week of August. And dude, it's 120 degrees out here with 90% humidity. It's hot here right now. And I told him Tuesday night, I said, no, Joe. I said, it's hot. I'm not working it. We're not doing anything. I said, but I'll call you back. So I went back to the office on Wednesday and I asked guys, I told the guys, hey, dude, guys, Joe, they won't come back. What do y'all think? Because, I mean, I've got to rely on them to help me. You know, I can't do it all. You know, it's you know, and it's their life like it too. So we kicked it around the office, and one of them said, Bradley, this is a chance, like once in a lifetime opportunity. And I called Joe back on Wednesday. And I said, make it happen, brother. We'll do whatever you need to do. And he called part of my camera crew, Casey and Mandy, which was my camera crew for a long time. And they called them, I think, Wednesday night and said, be in Arkansas tomorrow for filming. And I think they'd been somewhere for, you know, 7 or 8 months. Casey told me, he said, I done had plants, you know. He said, I had to get rid of my plants. And the rest is, that's how we got on. You know, that was it.
So speaking of pursuits, Chief, how did you get into becoming an EVOC instructor and taking over that responsibility?
Oh, me. We mimic a lot of the state police policies here just because we work with them so much. They finally last year, but they finally got it to where municipal law enforcement could go to the state police training center and take the EVOC stuff. So, and we went and took the basic EVOC, which, you know, is the pursuit driving, your braking course, your cones course, and your pit. It was called pit at the time, and then your spike strips. So we went and took that, and then me and Sergeant D, and we thought, okay, well, let's go see if we can take it. And let me tell you, the basic course is not a gimme. We've seen a lot of people get sent home on Wednesdays. It's not a gimme course. It's a hard course. As a matter of fact, I think Chief Armstrong's coming in February here for us to help train him. for that. So, and I'm excited about that because
Okay.
I talk to Willie often. But the instructor course is almost twice as hard as the basic course. You shave a lot of time off, and when you hit the cones course, you can't hit one cone. You can't hit one cone, and I don't know if you've ever seen a cones course, but there's probably 1,000 cones out there. You hit one, you're gone. And the high speed, you have a high speed track, and you still have your TVIs. We call it TVIs now, tactical vehicle intervention, because pits are called for precision immobilization technique. Well, ain't nothing precise about a pit, okay? So we call it tactical vehicle intervention because tactical can be ugly as long as it works. So
That's right.
the acronyms have changed. So that's how we've become it, and we go back and we do teach backs. We teach a lot of the basic students. Their stuff's not as hard. They have the cones course and a braking course, and they do get on the high speed track some, but they're limited on how fast they can actually go. But and if Clayton was here, he'd tell you I crashed. So I did crash at the instructor's course. Tires went flying everywhere. So he didn't crash, but I crashed, and I know he would tell you all that. So just to make fun of me a little bit, but I did crash into the wall.
So is that how you came to get the Scat Pack, the real Scat Pack?
No, I had it before.
That's not department issue.
No. What happened back in 2020? I'll tell you the truth. 2020, back when the chip thing was going on, we couldn't, the China chip thing or whatever's going on. We couldn't get police cars here. Like we couldn't, and we had court cars going down, and none of us were really prepared for the COVID stuff or whatever. And we were trying to get a hold of police cars, and it just wasn't happening. We had cars on order, and then they stopped making all those cars, and we had 2 or 3 cars coming. I'm like, we're in a full blown panic. Like, what are we going to do? I called my Dodge guys, and I said, hey man, and I said, I need a car. What do I do? And he said, man, I don't know what to tell you, Bradley. We can't get nothing. We're not even getting nothing on for our lots. And that's when the used car thing went on. And finally, I called a buddy of mine, and I said, man, I need you to find me a black Dodge Charger. Just see what you can find. I've got to have a police car. And he said, I got a black Dodge Charger Scat Pack with 20,000 miles on it. And I said, well, how much you want? How much is it? And I think he told me $41,000. And I said, well, I'm paying $37,000 for them. I knew what I was paying at the time for the car, the regular police package Dodge Charger. I said, man, so I went ahead and got that, and that was how the birth of the Scat Pack come. It was just because we were in a bind for police cars. It wasn't nothing fantastic or crazy, or it was just we were struggling to find police cars, and even in the car industry, that people were buying used cars, and used cars were going more than what new cars were worth. So that was the birth of the Scat Pack. Was just a struggle we were having trying to find police cars.
I forgot what clip it was, but I saw the seats in it, and I said, wait, those aren't pleather seats. I was like, that's a real Scat Pack.
It was
a real deal.
It's a real deal. And I guess the sad news is I don't have it anymore. The motor started having issues. I don't know that it was up for the driving that we were doing and things like that. Because I drove it like I stole it. Okay, I drove it like I stole it. I mean, I wasn't gonna let you get away. But we've got some twin turbo vehicles that are arriving Friday. So we're still going to be prepared. So it's great now. We can start getting our hands on some good cars.
So what's your favorite part about living in a small town? Is it the food, the hometown events, just the people? What's the draw for you?
It's just home. it's just home. When I answer calls, it's I know everybody. And to me that is a good thing and a bad thing. You work there in Daytona Beach, and 90% of the time you probably don't know half the people you're dealing with unless you work a specific beat and the same people in certain neighborhoods. But I know everybody, and that's a good thing, but but it's also a bad thing because
Yeah.
when it's a death of somebody that I know, those
Mm-hmm.
things are what haunt me at night. We've had some teenagers get killed in accidents, and
Mm-hmm.
I have had to go tell some of my friends that I went to high school with, that I went to church with,
Mm-hmm.
uh, that their son had passed away, and he was a 17-year-old boy, and that was their only son. So those are the bad things of being in a small town that haunts you, that keeps you up at night, that just it just don't go away,
Yeah.
I can lay down at night and vividly remember that day. I can't tell you what I had for lunch yesterday, guys, but I can vividly pick out each and every one of those incidents. My mind files it in a
Yeah.
filing cabinet. Uh, the good things, and then you have bad things because everybody. And I love the hometown stuff. We have a very well tight knit community. Everybody comes together when there's a
Right.
tragedy. Man, and in the South here, we got Friday night football. We go to the football game. We'll
Yes.
park the police cars at the football game, and that's the hardest thing for
Mm-hmm.
me being on the TV show during football seasons. I want to sit. They said, "Well, just do what you normally would do on Friday." I'm gonna sit at the football game, watch the boys play ball, go get a hot dog.
Come
Uh,
on.
yeah,
That's
exactly. So it's just
yeah.
that kind of stuff that I enjoy, and I just, man, I couldn't go nowhere else. I just couldn't do it. It's just I'm not that guy.
Right.
All right, if we come to Hazen, where are we going to eat? Hurley's, Will's Pizza, or Murray's Cafe?
All three of those are pretty good. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you're not gonna beat the breakfast at Hurley House. I'm telling you, son, man, you'll get the best biscuits and gravy and I'm talking about real biscuits and gravy. Will's, the pizzas, man, it's handmade, homemade. It's phenomenal, and I'm not just bragging because it's a local business. But Murray's Restaurant, they got the best bread pudding that make you slap your mama. Okay, and I don't know if y'all bread pudding fans, but let me tell you, they got some bread pudding that'll make you slap your mama. And when Miss Galen or Miss Yolanda brings out some onion rings, Lord have mercy,
Mm.
Mr. Stanley, their daddy, he makes the best onion rings you've ever had in your life. And
Wow.
catfish. I mean, you can go anywhere. About every restaurant's got catfish on Friday nights in Prairie County. I mean, we catfish capital of the world, got to be. But
Okay.
you got a good choice on all of them. But if
Okay.
I'm gonna impress you, I'm taking you to Murray's.
All right. Well, we're coming to
Hey,
Murray's.
that's it. I mean, I was down for the pizza. I was like, ooh, that looks good.
All right,
Hey,
Murray's it is when we get there. First
that's what
place,
I
I'm
had
gonna
for
meet you at
supper.
Murray's.
I had wheels for supper tonight, so I mean, I had
Oh
to
yeah.
be.
What is an unpopular opinion that you've noticed about our industry that you like to dispel, if you could?
That we're bad people. That law enforcement's bad guys, and we're not. Uh, man, I said earlier, I put my britches on just like anybody else. I'm one leg at a time. Uh, and we're not, just because we're police officers, we're not absent from problems either. We have bills to pay. We have children that we have to, just a few minutes ago, I'm having to run and put my 5-year-old in a bathtub. Spouses, that we may not always get along at times. We have our real world problems, and then we're expected to go fix everybody else's problems and know the right answers, in which we learn every day. And, you may have, some bad apples out there, but you got bad apples in everywhere. You got preachers that are bad apples. You got doctors that are bad apples. You got lawyers that are bad apples. I mean, they're everywhere. Yep. So yes, we're going to have them in law enforcement too, but that don't mean every one of us is that way. We're not. That's just right. That's the bad thing, and it's just for some reason, and I'm gonna blame the media on that, is they just like to throw us under the bus. They like to pick on us, in which it just fuels fires when it shouldn't, because we're there to help. That's why I got in this business. It's crazy, okay? And I like to tell everybody, when I get a 911 call, just say I get a 911 call of an emergency, okay? Either somebody being shot, or somebody in a wreck, or somebody in a wreck, or whatever. Just say it's a bad wreck on that interstate. I don't know what color you are. I don't get to ask what color you are. If you're black, white, brown, purple, gray, yellow. I go at 120 miles an hour with blue lights and siren to get there to take care of you and get you help, get an ambulance there, a helicopter, whatever I got to do. And I just wish that that's what people would understand.
That's it. I love it. I love it. I couldn't have said it better myself, especially in a heavily charged political climate like what we're in today. They always pop up on the news with these silly things. And don't get me wrong. There are bad actors, like you said, in every profession.
Yes.
But we are not, for the majority, the bad guys. You said bad apples. We don't let them ruin the whole bunch. So very well said, Chief. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, it's, like you said, they're everywhere. Every profession has them. You got bad nurses, doctors, school teachers, everywhere. But it's just part of life. It's part. And the thing about it is I've made mistakes in my career. Okay, and we all have. That's where you learn. That's what I tell those younger guys. Man, you're going to mess up. That's where you're going to learn. Okay, you might have an incident where, oh man, I made the wrong decision. That's part of it. If you realize you've made the wrong decision, then you're not going to make that wrong decision the next time. So, and that's part of it.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Chief, we do a little segment at the end of the show. If you weren't in law enforcement, what would be your dream job?
Probably coaching high school.
Got him. We stumped them.
No, I didn't want to throw it out there, but probably coaching high school football.
Nice.
I volunteered for probably about 6, 7, 8 years. I coached Pee Wee football for a long time with my boys, my older boys, and then they got older, and then we were kind of short-staffed at the school on coaches, and I did all my paperwork to coach high school football, and I volunteered for that. So I enjoyed it. Man, it's time consuming. You think this TV show's time consuming? I would get off work at 4:00 every day, and practice would start at 4, and we would go till 6:30 or 7. On Monday nights, we'd have film night. And then, we would have practice on Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursdays, we would do walkthrough, and Friday nights, we would have game. And then Saturday and Sunday, you're back looking at Huddle on your phone, trying to figure out a game plan for the next week.
Yep.
But man, it's a rush to see the success of these kids have. My middle son Chance, his team went to state championship. So you know, and I was there. I got to be there. You know, I was one of the coaches. So that's probably would be my dream job is still being here coaching high school football. It's because yes, I'm still a police officer here, but all those kids,
Yep.
hey, Coach Bradley, coach, I'm coach. You know, it's I don't know if there's a traffic stop that's out there where I stopped a young black boy in a maroon Durango for loud pipes. It was on the show. Well, that was Terrell, TP. I called him TP. His name was Terrell. He was a turd head, okay? And I'll tell him to his face. He was a turd head, okay? He's the only kid that got kicked off at Pee Wee football, all right? I mean, yeah. But he got better as he got older. And TP, he was one heck of an athlete, but he was hard-headed. I mean, he was hard-headed. Yeah. But he still had a good heart. You know, he was a good kid. And so, you know, and then I pulled, that's why I told him, I said, come on, dog. Come on, man. You know, so he was on the show one night. I pulled him over. I didn't know it was him. And I got up there and looked, oh, Lord, TP. So.
All right.
Best advice you've ever received?
The best advice that I can tell you that I've ever received is when you're having a hard time, you got things going on in your life and you're trying to seek advice from somebody. You seek godly advice. Okay. You seek godly advice from somebody because somebody will give you advice just to see you fail. But you search out a person, a preacher, a pastor, most of the time your dad, if you have a dad in your life, your dad will give you the best advice ever. My daddy told me, he said, son, you don't start searching for advice. You search for godly advice. So that's, you know,
Amen.
Because especially, and I don't want to, I'm not bragging, okay, because I try and be humble. I don't want none of this to get to my head on the TV stuff. But
right.
A lot of people would like to see us fail because we're successful with this show, things like that. Mike's successful with the show. And, you know, you just don't take advice from anybody, but you look for somebody that can give you godly advice and lead you in the right direction.
All right, here's a question. Do you have a favorite piece of police equipment that you carry?
Man, I guess my favorite would be that sniper rifle I keep in the trunk. I feel pretty safe.
What you got? What are you carrying back there?
I have a Ruger.
What do you got, 308?
No, I have a Ruger Precision 6.5 Creedmoor with a Burris optic on top of it. So, you know, I can reach out there a long ways, but you know, most of your sniper shots are within 100 yards. So, it's up close and personal. But I don't know. To be honest with you, the favorite piece of police equipment's that body camera I keep on me. Because it don't lie. You know, it tells the truth, and I love it because sometimes they'll say, "Well, he said this," or you know, used to say that when I were younger. He said this, and they're like, "Hold on, we'll press play." And even defense attorneys go, "Y'all had body cameras?" They just.
All right, Chief. If you could be friends with any fictional character, who would it be?
Fictional character. Who?
But that's assuming he isn't already friends with a fictional character, Jimmy. I mean, he may be already.
Man, I don't know.
Just one of those weird questions.
That's a weird one. I don't know.
Batman, Spider-Man, Wolverine.
Gosh, I just
Donald Duck. What about Jack Bauer, 24?
I'd probably say Wile E. Coyote off the Looney Tunes or something other like that. I always like that. He always
because you like to go fast.
He went fast and he always lost. He never caught the Roadrunner, so you know.
No. Are we sure he never caught him?
I don't know that we're sure, but I never seen him catch him.
Show ended and they always hung out, maybe.
You never know.
I like Paw Patrol myself. What's the last one, Jim? What you got?
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Huh.
People want to know.
Heck, I don't know. I ain't watching. You know how old I was when Die Hard come out? I was probably
20 something, maybe. I don't know.
I was probably a teenager. I'm not that
So
old.
maybe 15?
Everybody thinks I'm old. I'm only 47. So
see,
I'm
you
still
know, there
I'm
you
still
go.
young. But yes, I would say Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
There we go.
Yes.
That's
I
it.
would
We
say
got it. We got it out of them.
So
awesome. Well, guess what? You know, Chief, we really appreciate you giving us some of your valuable time away from your family. We know you just got back home.
say hey.
Yeah.
Hey, pal, how are you?
So no,
yeah, I hear you.
we can't let the beagle in the house because he them dogs like to run and chase rabbits. So and we live in the country, so he gets to run around.
I get it.
They can see you.
There you go. I love it. I love it. We sure can, and we're happy to see you too. What's up, man?
Hey.
How adorable! Oh, that's generation number 4 right there. Oh, get ready.
No. We're breaking the generational curse, man. I can't do. I'm not going to be able to do this at 60-something years old. I can't do it. I'm telling you. It's all I can do right now, having them boys out there. So, what are you going to be when you grow up?
Policeman.
Oh, did you hear that? He said policeman.
He said police.
Yeah, I have we it's crazy. We were going to Texas or coming back from Texas earlier this year. And since this show started, we've been going places and speaking and got conferences people want us to attend. And, you got to rent a room and then you got to do this. And then, they want you to come and speak and things like that. And a lot of those things we were coming out of our pocket on and, travel expenses and things like that. We went to Boone, North Carolina, and went up there and acted like we stole Willie's car one day in Brookford.
Yeah.
On a trip, that was wonderful because actually on the way home that Sunday from Texas, Willie called me and he said, "Man, they want me to come to New York." And I said, "Brother, you got to go. You're young. Go enjoy that. Go have the best time you can have and just live it up." Because he was going to go with us to the wild game supper and stuff, but we come up with ideas. How can we, give somebody something that's personally comes from us and make a little money to help for our travel expenses. So I'm not, because like I told you earlier, we got problems too. We got bills. Everybody's got bills. You got to pay for this and pay for that. And, me and my wife both work, but man, if we miss a paycheck, brother, we're getting behind. It's just part of life. I get it.
Right.
And so we come up with ideas and let's sell these coins and pictures and we'll personalize them. I always tell them don't blow your begonias off on half of them because that was one of my stupid sayings on TV one night. So
perfect.
It's crazy too. And Mike, I tell you, Jimmy, they don't tell you when you're on TV. They don't. Somebody don't go, "Hey, you're on right now. Act right." I don't know. We start filming at 6:30, and it goes till it's 11 our times when the show goes off. It's midnight y'all's time. And I use most of the time when at 11 o'clock when it's over with, I look at my phone and say, "Oh God, I said that. Lord have mercy." Because I got
that made it on TV. Yep.
Yeah, and it makes it on TV, and I'm like, "Oh Lord have mercy. I can't believe I said that." Because I'm always saying something silly.
Oh, you know what though, Chief? The best part about it is you don't have to answer to anybody, but I do.
This is true.
Yeah, that's what. Well, I do have to answer. And that's you say that, but I do, and I'm going to tell you. I know we've been talking for a while, but it don't matter. It don't bother
Yeah,
me
you're
to
good.
talk. But if you notice, we ain't cussed. We ain't said a cuss word on TV. And
Nope.
I'm gonna tell you, we had an incident that got on YouTube or whatever. We had a pursuit. I don't think it got on YouTube, but we had a pursuit where my guys said some cuss words, and we had a long talk. And then that was before the show, and I do school traffic, and I'm a school board member too. I told you I had a meeting. Well, I'm on the school board. Yeah, here too. It's not like I don't have enough to do, but I'm on the school board, and I'm also coaching the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade girls and junior varsity softball. And I do school traffic in the mornings when school starts. So I'm at the school at 7:30 with all the little kids, and all of them come up. Hey, Mr. Bradley, we seen you on TV. Hey, Mr. Bradley, because I'm not Chief Taylor. I'm not a police officer. I'm Mr. Bradley. Okay. I'm or BT or whatever. I'm not Chief Taylor. Okay, nobody calls me Chief Taylor around here. It's I may have a couple guys,
Coach.
Chief, yeah, Coach, something like that. It's Mr. Bradley, and we see you on TV, and then on Friday nights a lot of times we'd eat at the Hurley house on Friday nights. Well, then I had a couple little girls, and when I say little girls, I'm talking about 4 and 5, 6-year-old little girls that just love watching me on TV, and they come up there and eat. Oh, we're going to go home and watch you tonight. We love you, Mr. Bradley. And I tell them I love them too. And then it kind of got to dawning on me and then some of those shirt ladies and hat ladies were selling some merchandise, and a lot of these kids were buying some of this stuff, hats, and they would send me videos of these kids opening the hats for Christmas last year, and they were so excited. I'm like, oh Lord, I've got a lot of kids paying attention to what I'm doing. So I knew I've got to raise the bar and step it up, so, and watch my mouth.
Yeah.
So I don't know if, I know this wasn't a question you asked, but I know y'all seen where I said you're going to blow your begonias off. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Of course. Everybody did.
Everybody did. Well, that come from my son in the shower. He looked down at me and said, "Daddy, what are these?" And I looked at my wife, and she looked at me, and she just turned her head, and then I was like, and I don't get panicked in a 150-mile-an-hour pursuit, but I was panicking, okay? So I'm like,
oh yes.
And it seemed like eternity was going on, but I know it was a split second. And the first thing come out of my mouth was, "Them's your begonias." And he said, and he goes, "Them's your begonias." And I like, thank you. He couldn't say it. Because I was afraid he was going to go. I didn't want him going to the school and saying, "My daddy said them was my balls." Because stupid. And then all the little kids would be like, "Mr. Bradley said this, Mr. Bradley said that." So that's where that would come from. It was just, and then that boy had that gun in his drawers, and I knew all those kids were watching, saying, "We're going to watch you, Mr. Taylor." I was like, oh man. So that's where begonias come from.
That's fantastic. I don't think we could have ended it on a better note or story than that. Chief, coach, minister, father, friend, Bradley Taylor, we really appreciate you here. Let's give the chief a big clap. Wow. Absolutely phenomenal.